Hi everyone, this is my video introduction for HSC 4623 Minority Health Issues. My name is Stephen Edward Anderson II, I'm 34 years old, and my name was actually given to me by the nurse shortly after I was born. Apparently my parents couldn't agree on a name, and so the nurse simply said, well, why don't you name him after his father? And so they did, and so my name is Stephen Edward Anderson II. I've probably been given half a dozen nicknames over the years by the guys that I work with at the fire department. However, most of those nicknames are inappropriate for this setting, so I'm going to refrain from giving you any of those. I married my beautiful Nicaraguan wife almost 6 years ago in downtown Jacksonville, Florida, and up until literally 1 week ago, it was just the two of us, our two dogs, and that was it. Now we have a 1-week-old son, and his name happens to be Liam James Anderson. You can probably tell by the sleep deprivation on my face, the facial hair growth that I normally don't have due to my job, but I've been given a month of paternity leave, and so I'm taking advantage of it and not shaving my face and looking like overall like I haven't had sleep. We chose Liam because it is a very short, simple, but strong and masculine name, and in Irish, it's a name that means strong, protector, and warrior, and those are all cool things that any father would want his son to be associated with. His middle name is actually my brother's first name, who, by simply choosing my brother's name, shows how much my brother means to me. My brother also happens to be a Florida Gator alumnus. As I stated, I've been a firefighter and paramedic with St. Johns County Fire Rescue Department in St. Augustine, Florida for just over 10 years. But I have worked in the medical field for almost 13, beginning my career as a first responder and an emergency medical technician in the ER at a Level 1 trauma center in downtown Jacksonville, Florida, called Shands Hospital, JAX. I've basically made my way up in the medical field from the very basic first responder to paramedic, which is what I am now, and my career goal is to become a physician's assistant, for which I will be applying to those schools this fall. I was born in Charleston, South Carolina in 1980, but I spent most of my childhood growing up in different places due to my father's job in civil service. I spent much of my younger years, from approximately the ages of 4 to 11, on the U.S. Naval Base in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, which also happens to be where my father was born when his parents were stationed there back in the 1950s. My mother was born at the Naval Air Station in Jacksonville, Florida, where her parents were stationed as well when they were in the Navy. So as you can see, I kind of come from a rather large Navy family. There's other family members too that have served in the Navy. And so, as previously mentioned, I have a younger brother, James, who is 30, and he is my only sibling. He too was born in Charleston, South Carolina, and he graduated from UF in 2006. And he is a pilot for the U.S. Navy, and he is currently stationed at NAS JAX, but will be transferring to Hawaii next month. So, tough duty for him, huh? When I was growing up, we did not have any other family members living with us. Both of my parents are Catholic, and so I was baptized as a Catholic and was raised accordingly, somewhat. I made my first Holy Communion at 8. I was confirmed at 15. But my family were not regular church attendees. We were kind of those Easter, Christmas Catholics, just not very consistent. However, with both my wife and I being Catholic, even though we don't really practice the religion ourselves, we have every intention of baptizing our son, and we'd like to expose him to the church and let him form his own opinions and beliefs. I certainly don't think that there's any harm in exposing someone to a weekly positive message. And of course, that's all dependent on if we can get ourselves up every Sunday morning and actually go to church. There was one special heirloom that was passed down in my family, and that was my grandmother's wedding ring on my father's side. It was passed down for me to give to my wife, and so she happily accepted when I proposed to her, and she loves the ring as well as the history behind it. Of all the things I've learned from my parents over the years, I can honestly say that my father has always stressed the value of an education. Now, it took me a long time to realize this, hence the reason why I'm 34 years old and still in college, but better late than never and important nonetheless. My mother taught me about compassion. She told me that I need to be someone who always looks out for the weaker person, the sicker person, the hurt or injured animal, etc. And so I do, and I always have. It's probably the reason why I'm in the line of work that I do and why I'm pursuing my master's in physician assistant studies, so that I can continue to show compassion for and help those in need. That being said, I look forward to seeing all of your introductions and working with all of you this semester. Good luck, and go Gators!